everyone, my name is Himani and welcome to my channel Train Your Brain. In this channel, I will be discussing with you some basics of English grammar. So, as in our first lecture, I will be starting off with a very basic thing, that is sentence. So, when you hear the word sentence, what comes in your mind first? Basically, what comes is what is a sentence? So, the answer is sentence is a group of words that make complete sense. Now, let's look at some example of this meaning. Like today rain may not hit. It is a group of words and it is formed in a sentence. But does it look okay to you? Do you think it is fine to write like this? Of course not, because it does not make sense. Meanwhile, when you look at this thing, when you look at the sentence, it is today it may not rain today. So it makes complete sense and it is a group of words that make complete sense. So we will clarify it as a sentence and not this because it does not make sense at all. What do you mean by today may not hit? Nothing. Now there is one more thing to note in this sentence is that in a sentence the first word is always the first letter of a word is always capital. Like in today rain may not hit, the first letter T is capital. Today it may not rain, the first word T is capital, and in sentence also the S is capital. So it is a note that in a sentence the first letter of the first word should be capital. It is a rule. Now moving forward, we have learned about sentences, what are they and how do you rectify if there's a sentence or it is not a sentence. Now let's moving on. We have types of sentences. So now we will learn about four basic types of sentences, which are assertive, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory. So these are the four types of sentences: assertive sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence, and exclamatory sentence. What are assertive sentences? Assertive sentences are the sentences which states a statement. Like example of the assertive sentence is the assertive sentences are the sentences which states a statement. Example: my friend Ajay likes to watch movies. In this sentence, it is a assertive sentence in which, so one thing we need to keep in mind for assertive sentences are that the subject comes before the verb. In this sentence, Ajay, my friend Ajay is the subject and likes is the verb. So in this example, we can clearly see that the subject is coming before the verb. So hence it is an assertive sentences and it's stating a statement that my friend Ajay likes to watch movies. It is a statement and the subject here is coming before the verb. So it is the example of assertive sentences. Then comes our interrogative sentences. In that interrogative sentences, as the name suggests, interrogative. You mean that we are questioning someone or we are interrogating someone. So, as the name suggests, interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences are the sentences in which questions are asked. Like, do you like coffee? Do you like coffee? It is a sentence, and we are asking a question in a sentence. So it is an interrogative sentence. Now, interrogative sentences are of two types, which are yes or no and question word sentences. We can also call them yes or no can also be called closed sentences And question words can also be called open sentences. Now, what do you understand by yes or no? Yes or no means you can only give the answer in either yes or no. Like in this example, do you like coffee? In that, we can only answer in yes, I like coffee, or no, I don't like coffee. We cannot bring it in more detailed way. So it is closed sentences, yes or no. Now, example of question word is where do you live? Where do you live? In this set question, we have to answer like I live in Ghaziabad. I live in Ghaziabad. So you are answering it in a word question, answering the question in a sentence. So basically it is that. And always remember in interrogative sentences we add a question mark while asking a question. It is important. If the question mark is not there, you can often mislead it to be assertive sentence. So there should always be a question mark. Now moving forward, it's imperative sentences. What are imperative sentences? Imperative sentences are basically which expresses a command, advice, desire, or a request. So, like a few example of imperative sentences are be quiet. Be quiet is a command. So it is an example of imperative sentences. Or please bring me water. Please bring water. It is a request. Or like you should exercise daily. It is an advice. So when we're asked, basically when we asking, when we're giving an advice, when we're requesting something, or when we're commanding someone to something, or when we have a strong desire for something, like I wish to go to Paris. I wish to go to Paris one day. It is a strong desire to go to Paris. So these kind of sentences are given in imperative sentences. Now you might be wondering what is the difference between imperative sentences and assertive sentences. So in assertive sentences, the subject always comes before the verb, but in imperative sentences, it's not mandatory for the subject to come before the verb. So it is the only difference. And in assertive sentences, it states a statement. In imperative sentences, it expresses a command, request, advice, or desire. Now for the last type of sentence, it is exclamatory sentence. In this word, what do you understand by exclamatory? To exclaim something or to say something with such strong emotions. So basically, when we're saying something with strong emotions or feeling in them, they are known as exclamatory sentences. For example, wow, what a beautiful day. Really wow, like what a beautiful day. Okay. So here we will add an exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory mark. Always remember that exclamatory sentences it always include an exclamation mark so that it could prove that it's an exclamatory sentence. Or if we did not add the exclamation mark, so what would it look like? This, what a beautiful day. It does not show any emotion or something like that. But when we add an exclamatory mark to this, it shows that we are having a strong feeling or emotion, or we're saying it with such surprise. Next example we can take of sadness is alas, we lost the match. Alas, we lost the match. Alas is something like when you're feeling sad and you cannot find a word to say something, you say alas, and then rightly added an exclamatory mark here because we are saying this word with an exclamation or with a strong feeling towards it, we lost the match. That's it. So these were the four types of sentences: assertive, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory. What are assertive? The sentences which assertive sentences are the sentences which states a statement. Interrogative sentences which ask question. Imperative sentences which expresses a command, advice, desire, or request. And exclamatory sentences which exclaim something or which shows a strong desire or feeling towards something. Thank you and have a nice day.